All right, 13/5 is an improper fraction. And that's because this number, the numerator is bigger, which means that when I reduce it, it would come out to look like a mixed number because it would have at least a whole, maybe 2 holes, maybe 3 holes, and then a part of an extra. So I'll write another one. And in fact, I'll use this 4 halves over here to write the next one. So if I have 4 halves, then each one has 2, right? So 4 times 2 is 8. And then I've got an extra half, so that's 9 halves. This is an improper fraction because, again, the numerator is bigger than the denominator. And it represents a mixed number. 4 halves and 9 halves are, 4 and 1 halves and 9 halves are exactly the same number. They're the same thing, just one is written as an improper fraction and one is written as a mixed number. Okay, to start this last section off, I want us to think about this. Fractions are a representation of division. Now, here's why. Do you remember earlier this week and last week or whatever when I was telling you that when you represent division on your keyboard, you use the / button, right? Well, when you represent fractions on your keyboard, you also use the / button. So 2/3 would be written in your keyboard as 2 / 3. But 2 divided by 3 is also written as 2 / 3. So the fraction represents division. So when you have fractions, they're basically division. So if you have division where you get a remainder, you can also write a fraction. So I'm going to write that division with remainders can become a fraction. Okay, so let's do an example. I'm going to do the fraction or the division 9 divided by 2. Okay, 9 does not divide evenly by 2. This can become the fraction 9 over 2. Okay, but I want to make it a more simple fraction. So when I have 9 divided by 2, I put 9 inside the house and 2 on the outside. One's the divisor, one's the dividend, right? Does 2 go into 9? Not perfectly, but it does go in. I can count. 2, 4, 6, 8. It goes in 4 times, so I put the 4 on the top. And then 8 is what that equals. 2 times 4 is 8. So I subtract 8 from 9 and I get 1 left over. Okay, so this is where the remainder part comes in. So I know that I have 4 holes. So I'm going to write this as 4 holes. But then I have 1 left over. The remainder is part of the fraction. Okay, so 1 is part of the fraction. However, how many pieces was I trying to split 9 into originally? I was trying to split 9 into 2 pieces, which means this is the other part of the fraction. This is how many pieces there were, or the whole amount, 4 and 1/2. Okay, we'll go into some more about how to do division with fractions and find remainders and stuff. But I want you to think about when you have a remainder, it actually becomes part of a fraction. Okay, it's no longer just a remainder, because in middle school we're learning how to represent those numbers in ways that make sense to people. Because 4 and 1 remainder doesn't make a lot of sense, but 4 1/2 does make a lot of sense. Okay, so far let's summarize. Okay, fractions we learned today can be written a lot of different ways, and it can represent a lot of different portions. So fractions are used for mixed numbers, for improper numbers or improper fractions, and they're used for remainders. Okay, fractions are used to represent a lot of different things. All right.